because I'm a recruiter and business owner for a living, I have to pay very close attention to what's going on with AI and what's going on with robotics and how it might affect jobs and industries, et cetera. So I'm naturally pulled into the AI movement, if you will, because I got to watch it closely because it affects business and jobs. Some things I thought I'd share today since I haven't done one of these in a while. Not sure what to call this video, but or this episode, but something like the normalization of it all. That sounds like a good title. Here's what I mean. I'm fascinated how quickly we adapt and things that were weird at first become okay and normal. Let me give you some examples. Remember when Google first came out? I mean, I remember the debates with parents way back then saying, "Oh my gosh, we can't let them use their phones or use a Google search in school, etc." That's cheating, so to speak. And now, telling your kid that they couldn't look up something on Google to get information would be absurd. Then you move along to ChatGPT, right? All of us, when ChatGPT first came out, you heard all this stuff about, oh, well, ChatGPT, if you use that's cheating in some way. If it writes content for you, or if it creates something for you. And now we've quickly moved into a, a, a period in life where you're almost kind of silly and I don't know, you're ridiculous if you don't use ChatGPT or some large language model to help you be more efficient with your writing and your research and your creativity, whether it's pictures or whatever. So we've gone from ChatGPT is quote cheating to, hey, if you don't use ChatGPT, you're dumb. It's fascinating how quickly that happened. That also was in the workplace, right? I remember at first there was articles about this, people, employees would be caught using ChatGPT to try to do something to be more efficient or whatever, or create something, and companies would actually fire them. You'd see it in the news. Now, in a matter of, I don't know, 12 months, we've gone to companies saying, hey, employee, if you don't use LLMs and ChatGPT and other things to be more efficient and move faster, we will fire you. It's gone from you get fired if you use it to you get fired if you don't use it. Just like that. Almost overnight, that changed. In fact, companies now, I mean, companies are basically they're not hiring if AI can do the task, right? They will first try to figure out how AI and technology can do the task before they'll put in another human body. I mean, that's how quickly that's happened. I also find it fascinating that everybody used to be worried about the whole privacy thing, right? Like, oh, I don't want my information online and all this other stuff. Now, I don't know about you, but I feed every single thing about me into my agents, so to speak, as I can so that they can do things for me quickly. I want them to know everything about me so that they can just act accordingly, so to speak. Like I don't give a shit what they know. Really. I mean, if the Chinese want to hack Steve Urban, I mean, who cares? Anyway, my point is, I think most of us have gotten there, right? I mean, let's be honest. The privacy thing went away like 10 or 15 years ago, right? I mean, come on. All of our stuff's online. Facebook, Google, they know it all. I mean, let's be real. ChatGPT didn't change anything. Our privacy was gone a long time ago. Next thing I find interesting is the robotics piece. I think you're going to see a very similar pattern. Okay. At first, when you see a service robot or an autonomous robot in a warehouse or a restaurant or whatever, or in public, you're going to be like, oh, wow, cool. You're going to pull out your phone and you're going to be like, wow, look at that. That's crazy. Oh, look at that. And pretty soon it's going to be normal. They'll just be everywhere. Nobody will care. There'll be some pushback on businesses and things. because it's going to affect jobs, which will piss people off. So there's going to be pushback. I like let me give you a perfect example. I think you'll see situations where people will say, I only eat at restaurants where humans work. I refuse to pay a restaurant where there's robots. Guarantee you that's going to happen. That'll be a big social media thing. And at first, that'll be cool. You'll be like, oh, yeah. I only eat at restaurants with humans. Okay. Well, and then as time moves along, your friends are like, yeah, well, ABC restaurant has the best food, excellent, perfect service where they're always on time and they pour my drink perfectly every single time. And oh, by the way, the prices are half. Guess what? That's where you will eventually go to. Okay. It'll all head that way because Americans like fast, cheap, easy, good, right? We all look for the same things. So it'll eventually go there. And pretty soon people will be like, I don't care. I don't care if there's robots there or not. The self-driving cars, by the way, same thing. My own mother told me one time, I was talking to her about self-driving cars, and she's like, oh, I would never get in one of those self-driving cars. I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be a lot of people like that, right, at first. And then there will be this wave of pushback where the AI and the self-driving car industries will say, hey, did you know that 40,000 people die in car accidents every single year in the United States alone? And self-driving cars can take that number down to 20,000. So we save 20,000 lives if you'll just get in a self-driving car. That kind of stuff will start happening. And then pretty soon, if you see somebody driving their own car, you're going to be like, oh, I cannot believe they're driving their own car. That is so selfish of them to risk everybody's lives. That's how it's going to be. The next thing that'll happen, here's another good one. Robots taking care of, well, first of all, robots in homes, okay, doing chores, etc. You're going to go over to your friend's house and they're going to have a robot loading the dishwasher, vacuuming, I don't know, cooking some meals. And at first you're going to be like, that is so weird. We'd never have one of those. And pretty soon, when they're $200 a month and nobody in your house has to clean or vacuum or cook or do the lawn or any of that other stuff, and the robot just does it, you're all going to have one. You're all going to have one. And it will be completely normal. And then the debate will come out with safety around children and elderly people. And robots will be used to take care of your mom or dad who are old and sick and don't want to go to the retirement home because none of them do. And people will start using robots for help with children and elderly. And at first, people are going to be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they would put their mom or dad or kid at risk with that robot. That's terrible. I'd never do that." Then, as time moves along, it will be the complete opposite. We'll actually move into a situation where somebody will say, can you believe they just hired some human nanny off the street to take care of their kids? That's so dangerous. So much safer to have a robot. That's how it's going to flip. Guarantee it. Okay? Guarantee it. And it'll be the same for your elderly parents, right? If you leave elderly parents at home that are 89 years old by themselves and you haven't put a companion robot in there to take care of them, you will be looked down upon. That's where it's going. Speaking of companion robots, that's the last thing I'll mention. This companion AI, where the AI is already your friend here and it's getting to know you and it's telling you how awesome you are. That's going to continue. And that will eventually roll into humanoid companion robots to help solve loneliness, depression, all kinds of stuff. And at first, everybody's going to think that is so weird. I would never do that. Well, you're already talking to your phone every day, aren't you? And can you imagine 1972, you told somebody that they're going to be talking to a device and it's talking back to them? They'd be like, that's freaking weird. So everything gets normalized because as Americans, we want easy, fast, cheap, comfortable. Okay. We want all of that.